I think Deebo right now is playing like one of the best players in the NFL. So just to be able to do what he's doing, he's obviously talented, but the will that he has, it's unbelievable. And I mean, Deebo is one of the most respectful coach players I've ever been around. I mean, he wants the ball because he believes he can change it at all times, but Deebo's not. I mean, I think what he said to me actually was, "Kyle, I got you." Is what he said. And I don't think, and if he's got me, I'm going to give him the ball. And that's kind of how Deebo's a very good person that our team loves, and he cares about everybody, and that's why he's fun to watch, because he does it the right way. He's aggressive in everything he does, but yet he's not out of control in anything, because that's who he is. He doesn't have to get himself real amped up for a game, which some people you see play with the physicality he does. I mean, they're borderline blacked out on game day. You can't even talk to them because they have to go to a certain level just to get there. And Deebo doesn't. It's who he is, and that's to me what allows him to play at such a physical level, but to do it at a higher level than most people do. And that's why he doesn't really call a shot much. He just inspires, and he inspires me, and he inspires our team, and that makes it a lot easier to call plays.
Kyle Shanahan taking a break from buying up land contracts and drilling for oil out west to talk about one of the fundamental truths of coaching. Look, he gets it. When you have players who are highly talented, who have credibility based upon their past actions, it's one thing for some end-of-the-bench schlub to come up and say, "Hey, put me in, coach, give me the ball." It's another thing when you got a guy who has proven that he is a badass over and over, and when he comes to you and he looks you in the eye and he says, "Give me the ball here," coach says, I know what I got. I know what I'm looking at on my chart. Go ahead, Deebo. Give Deebo the ball. Just let Deebo do his thing.
I think that's what's cool about Shanahan and McVay in this matchup, where, yeah, they're famous for their X's and O's, but they trust their Jimmies and their Joes every now and then to just go like, wait, you know what? I'm going to a play that's going to get the ball to the guy that I know is the best player on our team, and we're just going to go down that way. We're going down throwing with our best punch. And that's, again, I mean, every week we go, can Cooper Kupp really get 150 yards receiving again? Oh, he does. Every week we go, can Deebo Samuel really run the football and catch the? He does. That's what's cool about this matchup here, is they ride their stars. Shanahan's as good in the business as far as formulating a game plan around his 2 or 3 difference makers, whether that's Kittle, Deebo Samuel, or even a Brandon Ayuk, and McVay's not far off there. I mean, we saw it last week. Cooper Kupp, he got some plays from Odell. They know how to do that, and I think that's what makes them interesting teams. They got great defenses, and then coordinators, offensive head coaches who are amazing at dialing up plays and getting the ball to their best player.
All right, Deebo Samuel rushing and receiving yards on Sunday night against the Rams. The over-under is 95.5. Are you over? Are you under?
I think I'm going to go over here. I am. And again, I don't know if there's a translation to what the number is to what if they win or lose. But 95-5 against a Rams defense that we know is not the best at stopping the run all the time. It's an NFC Championship game. I would think Shanahan's going to have a few other wrinkles that maybe the Rams can't even prepare for. I do think the Rams are going to sell out to stop the run, which might give Deebo Samuel some looks in the pass game. I'm going to go over, Mike. I am. He's just kind of unstoppable at this point.
I agree with you as well. Win or lose, they ride their stars. They're going to go down with a fight, and the fight is going to come from George Kittle and Deebo Samuel, period. All right, who's going to have more passing yards, Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship? Over-under for both is 290.5, the exact same over-under for both. Who do you have?
I think I'm going to go Burrow here with this one. And not to, again, I don't think there's any correlation to the win or the loss here. I just think, they got to ride Burrow in the passing game to win the football game. I don't imagine them being able to run the ball a whole lot in this one. They're not a great running team. We talked about their offensive line issues. I think they'll have a hard time there. Burrow, I think, their passing game is going to be crucial. I just look, I guess, at the Chiefs as they have a few other avenues of moving the football. I know Mahomes is the man. Him or Josh Allen are the best 2 players in the sport. But they also have a decent run game and a reverse from a McCole Hardman or a Tyreek Hill, or, the drive starts at the 50 because McCole Hardman returned the kick to the 50-yard line. It's a short field. It's not as long as drive, so now you don't get the yards. I'm going to go Burrow.
Yeah, and I also could see a situation where the Chiefs
are winning a little
build
bit.
A lead.
Yes, exactly.
And the Bengals have to kick it into overdrive in the passing game to try to make it interesting.
Right.
Most receiving yards on Championship Sunday. We have several to choose from, with the favorite obviously being Cooper Kupp at plus 220. There's Jamar Chase, though, at plus 450. Tyreek Hill. What a shocker to see Tyreek Hill at 6-1, but it's Cooper Kupp and Jamar Chase playing that same day. Who do you like on that list?
I think I like Jamar Chase maybe more than any. I do. The one guy I'll throw out there just as if you want to like a value bet, I look at T. Higgins and go, not a huge part of the game plan the first game around, was close a few times. But I would think the overcorrection to stop Jamar Chase is going to leave T. Higgins with some favorable looks. But I think if you're going to make me bet, and I got to bet money here, I'm going with Jamar Chase. The Chiefs, again, they blitz, they play a little too much man-to-man, and you can't cover this damn guy. Until I see different, I guess that would be the guy I would go with there.
I look at that list, and the name that continues to fascinate me is the one at the bottom, Odell Beckham Jr.
Odell's the other one, too. I hear you.
If you overcorrect to take away Cooper Kupp, he's the guy now. He's the number 2 guy, and he can be counted on. And it feels like he's growing into this moment. He's never been here before. He may be ready to put on a show come Sunday.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.